And he must have bought something, because he's only sitting on 1,400 gold. And he's had that Geometer's Bane for a while, so...
He just picked up the portal key not too long
Oh,
ago.
wow, yeah. I guess I just figured he had that going into it. Or that he's had that for a while, but yeah, so he just picked it up. He did have that in that fight, so that makes sense. But another 2,000 gold already saved up. Again, just shows you how fast he's farming. Now at 5, no, that's experience. 445 gold per minute, but still definitely up there. I must say, I've definitely been I'm a fan now of this portal key Plague Rider, man. I mean, Chelsea's made a very good use of that portal key ever since he picked it up. It's one of those kind of almost head-scratching items when you think about it initially, but he's done very well with it. And, you know, both of us said as well, you know, Plague Rider kind of just has died off as a popular pick in general on the competitive scene. A little bit surprising, because he does bring so much to the table, especially as a suicide role.
Right.
Maybe this will kind of change that a little bit. I don't know.
Yeah, and like I mentioned before, I just think teams were doing it wrong. They were, their idea was good. They would dual lane, long lane with the Plague Deny and give whatever hero was in that lane with Plague, you know, good lane control and good farm and good experience. But that promotes a very passive style of play in general. People are forgetting the fact that Plague is one of the best solos in the game with the Deny and the strong nuke. And you put Plague against a Wild Soul, and then you factor just the threat of a Parasite in the jungle. I mean, Plague is such a strong solo there. So actually more initiate coming on top, as the Bombardier ultimate is able to net a kill on the Fade, but not before they get 2 kills on the Les QQ and Insania. And more pursuing action. Parasite is jumping in now with his portal key. Storm Spirit activated on Bombardier, but it's not going to be enough. And Silhouette is pounding some damage onto this bear. Sender does get taken out by neutral creeps, but this is just looking grim. And now they're looking for the Genocide. Action blinks in, and they're pursuing this Wild Soul. Auto attack coming out from Parasite as well as Silhouette. And will they get the kill? It's very close. He kind of do a little bit of shooting around. Oh, he does get a kill on the Glacius before he goes down, and he's running around.
Look at this micro.
RNG. Oh, the Codex coming out from Moon Meander. So that is a Genocide coming out. Ooh, this is not looking good for Team DreamHoN.
Well, that all started with you gave credit to Beacon earlier, and once again, got to do it. I mean, that Bound Eye has been the best item pickup for him. He was just able to sneak up right there. Obviously, you knew that they could not see him. Because of that, Bound Eye sat right on top of Forsaken Archer, waited like 3 or 4 seconds for the support to come close enough, then eventually opened. Magnus did actually a pretty good job, Insania, of reacting to it right away, but it was just too much, obviously, with the ultimate support that came in. So that started the fight. What eventually ended up in a Genocide in their favor for complexity. So that nice job by Parasite. That portal key also, we saw that last fight, and it's still a level 1 Codex, but still plenty of burst damage to take out Insania right there in the middle lane. So DreamHoN, it's definitely just like the first game of almost, you know what, we're completely fighting it uphill. But I will say it is though different than in the sense that they actually have a Wild Soul and a Forsaken Archer who are both doing pretty well, and even a Bombardier who's up there. So they got even a couple of carry heroes you can argue on both Wild Soul and Forsaken again that actually aren't doing too shabby. So maybe that's the difference in why this game isn't ultimately over yet. But yeah, I mean, I see that 27,000 experience lead, only 34 minutes in. That's a huge number there at this point. Level 19 Silhouette. It's just absurd how well he's recovered.
Yeah, and I mean, not to give any discredit to Hackstrom, but he really kind of, I mean, Complexity kind of won this game 4v5. I mean, he did his thing. He did what he needed to do, and that's what I mean, not to discredit him, is he had such a horrible start just because of how the lanes were set up. And he was just kind of farming the jungle, kind of getting that jump start back into his favor, while Complexity did a really good job utilizing that portal key on Plague as well as Fade, being really aggressive. And did I see a Refresher picked up on someone?
Yes, Restoration Stone picked up by Plague Rider. So,
oh, wow.
Yeah. Parasite jumping Bombardier here, actually, trying to get away. Oh, there's a portal key, one more attack, but support is coming. He will get the kill, and he'll just walk away as if nothing happened. So, but yeah, Restoration Stone, an item we never really see in competitive play. But picked up here by Plague Rider. I'm guessing he does have enough mana. That's a lot of mana. 500 for the ultimate, so he just barely has enough. 1,100 total is what he... Oh, no, 1,300 total, excuse me, is what he'll need. So, yeah, he barely has enough mana just for the double ultimate. Of course, with the Extinguish as well, that could help. But, yeah, that's scary.
Yeah, definitely scary. I mean, this is... I want to say just, I think DreamHoN, honestly, I'm not a fan of doing this, but this is pretty much over. And
yeah,
I think this is just going to make them more disappointed playing out a game like this. I mean, a 30K experience, they got to see that when you pick up an item. I mean, the Restoration in Stone is great, don't get me wrong, but it's almost to the point where it's like they're just kind of trolling and having fun.
Yeah.
Almost to that point, and it's never fun playing out a game like that.
Well, you know, I think it's also a case of at least give it one more go. It's kind of weird to just concede like right now. It'd just be kind of weird. So maybe just give it one more go, see what can happen. And this could be that changer right here. Wild Soul actually going to start to get picked off. Again, it is Wild Soul. He has his ult forming activated, trying to stay alive long enough. Airstrike coming up to support, but it doesn't hit anyone. However, Parasite can end up dropping right here. Then Tangle coming through, and actually Fate is going to end up dropping as well. So Wild Soul lives. He does die in the end, actually. The Burning Shadows does its work from Beacon. You see Plague Runner going over. They know a Bound Eye dropped, and Magnus is actually going to pick it up. So, and Plague Runner may be going into a dangerous spot here. He is going to portal key in. Find nothing, but Magnus going to run in. They are going to spot him, but nope, not going to initiate. But, man, that was hilarious. That's,
I know. That could have gone way better, actually. Keizu completely bombed that ult. Get it? Yeah, that was really well played by Zai. You see the power there of the Wild Soul, and you get some good RNG from those roots, as well as the Radiance. And when you use that, I forget what the little ability is called, the Battle Cry, I think is what it's called. That adds up a lot of damage and armor to both the hero and the bear, and you can really turn some fights right there, and he did it just there.
Yeah, so we see another bunch of pause, obviously, in chat that making the point that now apparently Peter is lagging now, so, and he's asking for a 10-minute pause.
Oh.
Don't you just love these? Well, so apparently we're going to be sitting in a little bit more of a pause once again here to try to get this figured out. So, obviously, our Legion team, maybe that's where hope lies, as awful as that sounds. But, see, the thing is, if he changes his IP, he won't be able to reconnect.
Yeah.
So, unless he just doesn't plan on DC, which wouldn't make any sense, you're going to DC. See, I feel like he knows that. Like, this isn't like the first time we've been through this process. So, changing your IP is kind of silly at this point. But anywho, well, but yeah, I mean, it's again 28,000 experience lead, 17,000 gold lead here for Complexity. They're up 1-0 here in Game 2, so this is obviously a win here would secure them victory, and they will start 1-0 here in the Group B stages. But the game not over just yet, but as you were putting it, and I definitely agree, I mean, it is grim here for DreamHoN, but we also did see the power of Wild Soul a little bit there in the 1 versus 2 situation. And now I think I also just saw him purchase a Soul's Bulwark, actually, as he was dead, so we'll have that now to use. So, and then you got LesQQ, who had such a great start, and obviously started to go a little bit downhill with the picks when the picks started happening again. Just great aggressive play from Complexity. So Forsaken Archer is kind of just been sitting on the same items for a while now. Although he did eventually get Shrunken Head, so which still has maximum charges. So I guess he just recently picked that up.
Yeah, maybe that's what they're waiting to do, is use a team fight with that Shrunken Head picked up, having the 10 seconds on it. It's just going to be so hard. I mean, there's so much farm and so many levels. If you compare them, it's like, okay, you got level 20 Silhouette to a 15 FA. You got a 19 Parasite to, I don't know, like an 11 Magnus. A 14 Fade to a 16 Bomb, okay. And then a 19... Plague Rider to, you know, you put them together, it's just like, wow, you got so many levels on that Hellborn team.
Yeah. While we're in this pause here, though, this gives us a little bit of time to talk about some more things once again. So, obviously, today, this is only day number 2 here. The group stage is, 28 days total. That's just crazy to even think. Only being day number 2. But Complexity against DreamHoN, we casted actually a replay before this, of course, of a yesterday match. So we got a couple of matches from yesterday even. But tomorrow we're actually going to be covering once again another matchup, as every single day that's going to be the case here on HoNcast. Tomorrow, though, it's actually going to be Cats Gaming versus Team GA. And the cooler thing about that is that that's the 2 Russian teams that happen to be in this event. They're going to be going at it tomorrow in a best set of 3. So I'm really looking forward to that as well, seeing what not only, you know, The quality of the teams, obviously we did see a little bit of Team GA at DreamHack. Unfortunately didn't do the greatest, but playing against what I'm sure what they would consider to be a rival for them in Cats Gaming, that should be a lot of fun there. So, and then on Sunday, so that's going to be Saturday. Tomorrow, Sunday, is actually going to be Clan Milk. They're going to be playing against what is now Trademark Esports, the new Trademark Esports team, of course, My Nuts and crew. So that should also be another fantastic series, and that's taking place on Sunday. So just a quick update there on what's going to be happening. Now, as far as the following that, of course, again, every single day going to be more matches. Haven't exactly decided on the matches after that. We'll definitely let you know as soon as possible.
Yep. And you can check that all out too if you want to, in reference for yourself at summer.dreamhon.com. I think everything up there, all the information is there, and you can see everything that we see as far as schedule and who's playing who and what the brackets are and who's in each group. So yeah, check that out if you haven't already.
Yeah, summer.dreamhon.com for all the information, standings and even team rosters and everything. So all your information you can get there. So summer.dreamhon.com. There you go. And, of course, honcast.com. That's what we are here. Myself, Breaker CBK, and Draw from Adora joining me. Yeah, so looking forward to getting back into this game. Obviously, it looked like he tried to reconnect there, but timed out. So, again,
hopefully he's not getting that error message where if you actually do change your IP, it doesn't let you join the game.
You're not going to join the game.
Yeah.
So, theoretically, what if he can't get back? How big of a deal is it if they don't have Glacius?
Not a big deal. Sorry, Franzi. Not a big deal if you're not in this game.
See, that's the thing. It looks like he is constantly timing out, so hopefully it works. But it could be worse. It could be any other hero in the game. It is Glacius, though. Now, that's not to say, obviously, you want your full team. I mean, I'm sure he still does bring quite a bit. Don't get me wrong, but if you could have one player just drop out in a situation like this, then maybe Glacius is the best bet. But still, you will still be playing a man down if that happens to be the case, and obviously that's really unfortunate.
I mean, the craziest thing to think about is Sender is level 8, whereas the hard support Glacius is level 14. He's 6 levels higher. Oof, that just shows you how much of a deficit in levels and experience that DreamHoN is in.
Yeah, again, that experience per minute chart definitely shows it best right there. So, yeah, he's trying to reconnect, but I don't even see the percentage thing moving. So, obviously, it is not working out too well. And I got to think we're getting close to 10 minutes here. So, we'll see if the server actually unpauses it. It's only been about 6 minutes apparently, so we're going to have about 4 minutes left. Okay, so apparently he didn't actually change his IP. Oh, there we go. Looks like he's out now, fully reconnecting. Booyah! So, he actually got back into the game, at least it looks like. That's the other thing, too. If he does have it in DC, they will have 5 minutes of being able to at least micro him. So, get some micro masters on board. I like that saying much. Oh, hey, I'm going off what you said the other day. You said you were pretty bad at StarCraft, so.
I am pretty bad.
That's the only reason why I said that.
I,
on the other hand,
I am
pretty
getting
good.
under, I'm taking lessons from Liquid Hero.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm getting much better. I am a Terran player, but he is giving me lessons nonetheless.
I'm sure that still would be very beneficial.
I'm kidding. I'm kidding. But, yeah, I'm pretty bad at StarCraft. I'm pretty sure I would be hopeless at any kind of lessons if I purchased them from any pro.
Yeah. Pretty intense game over there in StarCraft World. Love to watch it, though. It's a very entertaining game to watch. As is Heroes of New Earth, when we're actually playing it, of course. Pause screen, not so much as entertaining. DreamHoN Summer Championships goes, guys. $40,000 on the line. Again, the first place team, if you happen to win it all, not only do you get $20,000, but you get a trip, you get an invite to the DreamHack Winter event, as well as a $4,000 travel stipend on top of that. So, really, I mean, it's $24,000 if you put it that way. So, yeah, a lot of money on the line here, $40,000 total. again on the line for all these teams. Now, again, making it to the group stages, all these teams actually are already getting a piece of the prize pool. $250 for just getting to the group stages for 9th through 32nd place. So at the very least, you're getting $50 a player, not too shabby. But of course, moving on to the quarterfinals and even further, that's what, well, I'm sure a majority of these teams at least, what they're looking for. We can kick for 4 vs 4. Wouldn't that be something if DreamHoN is like, you know what? We'll go ahead and remove, I guess it would be a Luna. Move Sender, make it a 4 vs 4. Okay, so according to the text, he's officially reconnected. Whether or not that actually means something, I guess we'll see here in a couple seconds. Always having some fun with that term. Oh, there you go, Magnus DCing. That'd be funny. Actually,
Well,
serious too, which is actually the really funny thing. Straight up leaving. No, he's reconnecting. Okay. But yeah, so this is just day number 2 again. And I know initially when the tournament started, we're like, I can't wait to get to the group stages. You know, it's great to be the group stages though and all, but can't wait to get to the later part of the group stages. You know, when we start seeing records take place, because I know the NASL was actually a very fun format to cast and cover and follow. You see the server unpausing right there, so I wonder if do they even have a pause left actually? I wonder if they do. They should have a pause. Okay, yeah, I believe that's the last pause actually. So that should be.
You know what I can foresee happening? They're waiting all this time, all these pauses, and then they're just going to go march up middle and then concede in less than a minute.
Yep.
Boy.
Yep.
Boy. Awesome.
Yep. It's probably what's going to happen here, but hey, they're going to try their best to not let that be the case. But as I was saying, though, you know, the NASL, the very successful NASL season that we had, at least as far as I thought, as far as coverage and everything, is in the format, which is a lot of fun to follow. It's because of that regular season format, and you know, every team played the other team, and best of the 3s every single day. We had some epic matches, and that's kind of what we're getting with this. So I'm really excited for the format of the group stages. But what was cool about the NASL event, especially too, it came down to the very last match on the very last day to determine who would actually be going on to the finals. I still remember that. It was actually Team Easy. They had to play Reason Gaming on the very final day, and Reason Gaming at that point, I believe they were winless. They didn't even have a win all season. Easy needed a win to actually move on to the finals over, I think it was actually Online Kingdom, and Reason Gaming beat them 2-1, and as a result, Online Kingdom went and Team Easy got knocked out. So that was a pretty awesome, you know, kind of finish there. With suspense all the way. So I'm kind of hoping for that here in these group stages, I guess is where I'm getting at. Again, with only the top 2 teams moving on out of 8 total, that's not many. Do the math there. So.
Yep. I know, it's definitely exciting, and it'll be interesting to see as the group stages start to come to a close. Is start to see how they
scores myself.
To see how they shape up with you know, which teams are going to face which teams, and I'm sure people always want to see Fnatic versus now Complexity, or I can't wait to see. Actually, I can't wait to see in this group stage FIT versus Complexity. That's going to be really fun for me to watch.
Yeah.
But you know, it's really going to be cool.
Yeah, of course that is going to be fun. You know, setting up these matches. Actually, I do have a couple of updates for us while we are still sitting in this pause here.
Sure.
Other matches that have actually wrapped up. Looks like Team Fit did defeat Saishi 2-0 there. So better looking than you, Pandy's team. They are now 1-0. We have Impunity versus Bochi. The Impunity defeated them 2-0. So I believe that was what Ken was talking about, where Bochi was running Sandwraith doing pretty well, but in the end it doesn't look like it was enough. So Impunity, Southeast Asian team, they are 1-0 now as well. And then Dynasty, again, the South Americans, they defeated Sosh, as I mentioned earlier, 2-0. So Fit, Impunity, and Dynasty all are 1-0 now here in Group B. We'll see who joins them, whether it's Trademark or somehow DreamHoN here. Yeah, that was funny. Anyways, so what's been going on in chat, though? I haven't really been paying attention.
I don't know. They're just a bunch of
useful
gibberish. No, yeah.
Probably not, yeah. All the gibberish going on.
He didn't change his IP. You can't change your IP and reconnect to a game.
Yeah. Well, now the plan is, I mean, we are planning to do a post-game interview with us as well. You know, every single day with the group stages, want to just like we did with the pre-game. Want to definitely get some post-game reaction. So, expect that as well, guys, after the match wraps up, if it never does at this point. I mean, this is the last pause though, so no matter what, they don't have a choice. Actually, when the server unpauses, it's go or go home. Are you
Yeah,
kidding me?
that's what it's gonna be. I knew it.
Oh my God! We just waited 15 minutes for them to say GG, well played. Whatever. The game's over. That's what matters. All right. So Complexity, they do defeat DreamHoN. That has to be one of the most anticlimactic finishes we've ever had here in a game. But that's how it finishes. But what really matters is now Complexity is 1-0. And of course, DreamHoN, they will start 0-1. But you know, again, when you look at Group B, especially this, you can safely say this is probably the strongest matchup that both of these teams had to worry about going into Group B. So now there's still plenty of matches to play. 6 more best of 3s for both of these teams. I still wouldn't be surprised if these two are the top 2 in the group. But at that same point, there are still some strong teams. Of course, you got Impunity, Fit, and some other teams in this group that are also looking pretty strong. So we'll see. But Complexity, they are now 1-0, Droff.
Yeah, good job by them, and they just played it very solidly throughout the entire series, and they did what they did best. They had a hard carry both games. Silhouette was this last game, and then despite even his really, really poor start, that's just a hero that does so well with poor starts and then bounces back from them. You just go into the jungle, use that Death Lotus that's spinning around to help jumpstart your farm, and he had a lot of help as well from his team stacking the jungle for him. Those small camps in particular really helped him. So, yeah, Complexity played their game, and unfortunately DreamHoN couldn't do anything about it.
Yeah.